I'm going to show you how to legally never pay to get clients again. At just 16, I started my own marketing company and scaled it to six figures without ever spending a dollar on paid ads or doing outreach. And so in this video, I'm going to break down all of these principles that we use and that we currently use to generate clients for financial firms with over $100 million in AUM. So let's get started. Now, first, you need to understand the principles of marketing economics, right? People think marketing is just something that you have in a separate department that doesn't really do anything, right? But using marketing in the right way with the right economics can generate results at the most efficient rate. And so to really get the best marketing economics, you first need to understand marketing psychology. And the reason behind this is because people buy from people they already know, like, and trust. When you think about it, you'll begin to realize if I went to Amazon and had an amazing experience, it was shipped in one day and it got to my door immediately, right? I'm going to go back and back and back. And because of this, Amazon is able to increase their lifetime value more than any other competing company. To have the most efficient marketing economics, there are three blockers that you have to remove. The first blocker here is being a commodity. Most firms don't realize this, but aside from your values, aside from your leading benefits, what really separates you from any other wealth management firm or any other private equity firm? Without having an offer, without having value in place for every lead that you come in contact with, most firms are simply commodities, whether they realize it or not. The next blocker is a simple lack of volume. If you're not doing enough marketing, you're not doing enough sales, you can't expect for leads to come in the door aside from referrals. And because of this, many firms don't realize that they do have this problem. They may not realize that there is a lack of volume because they have focused so much on referrals. Referrals tell you one thing, that you have a great product and that you have great people on your team. But to get to the next level, to really use mass marketing, to use these techniques, you need to increase your volume. Many times, that is a simple solution that fixes plenty of firms' problems. And so, the last and most crucial blocker is poor leverage. No matter how much money you put into marketing, how many social media designers you have on your team, how many different editors or different producers you have throughout your organization, without the proper marketing economics, without the proper leverage in place, you will never be able to profit off of the people that are producing marketing for you. And that is simply because your costs to get a new customer outweigh the profit you make. Many firms will try paid ad strategies, whether that's on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. However, for example, if your costs to get a client are $100, but you only make $50 in profit from that client, then you're not profiting on your marketing. And this doesn't tend to be the issue in beginning stages, right? But as returns begin to diminish, you start to see that those costs steadily creep up. Because you are capturing more market share, you're getting more people in the door. However, those people are not as efficient as the ones you started out with. And so this requires a completely different approach to financially efficient marketing. So we'll get into the first method, that being automated outreach. Now, this doesn't just mean AI or the newest cold email trend, but it means setting up systems after already doing it manually. And so once you are able to do it manually, once you are able to understand human psychology and the principles that are required to get somebody to reply, to get a lead to actually respond to the message, to hit their pain points, and to understand the problems they're dealing with, then you can scale that with automations. Then you can scale that with different systems in place that will allow you to do this at scale efficiently. Remember, efficiency is the overall goal of marketing. You could just do sales. You could just go up to 100 people in person and get 100 leads just like that. But that's not the point of marketing. The point of marketing is so that you can contact thousands of leads at a time, and so that you can go from 100 million AUM to a billion plus. And something we all know, whether we recognize it or not, is that humans are innately selfish. meaning they want the best for their firms. They don't really care about what one firm says about what they should do. And so, unless you're providing value, unless you're telling them something that they can immediately apply to their own situations, that will solve their specific pain points, that will solve their problems, then they have no reason to listen to you. And so, in your marketing, in your sales, be sure to utilize this and to exploit this. Understand that humans want what's best for them. So, provide value, provide resources for them to get from where they are to where they want to be. And because you understand your niche, you understand your ICP, you will be able to paint that picture precisely. Now, some ways to actually implement this include automated cold email, AI dialing, outsourced lead sourcing, and then appointment setting from inbound leads, not outbound leads. Why? Because they already know, like, and trust you. Which leads us to our next segment, which is self-liquidating paid funnels. And in the last section, we utilized the fact that humans are innately selfish. In this one, we're going to utilize the fact that the best customer is a returning one. If they have bought from you in the past, they've received value from you, and you had the best product at the time for their pain, then why wouldn't they buy from you again? And so this is where we begin to create economics that pay us profit to get customers instead of the other way around. Now, what you're going to do in this case is you're going to create a low ticket offer. Many times in finance, in different wealth management firms, their only offer is their service. It's their high ticket offer where they take a percentage of your wealth. Whereas the firms that create low ticket offers, the firms that create different services and different products are able to capture much more of the market share and then convert that different market share into their main service. And here you are going to optimize for value. And if you're familiar with Alex Hormozi's offer creation process, then you'll know that value means minimizing time delay, effort, and sacrifice, and then maximizing both the dream outcome, what they receive, and how likely it is that they receive it. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a high value, low cost offer, right? This could be an AI tool, a guide, a template, such as a spreadsheet for finance, or any sort of calculator. And after you've already made it as best as possible, instead of giving it out for free, you're going to charge anywhere from $10 to $200 for this product. This is what will cover all of your costs to acquire a new customer. And it will give you the budget needed to then invest in something like Meta paid advertisements. So you pay Meta for an ad, leads for your high ticket service, then buy that low ticket offer. And now you have primed leads that have already bought your low ticket offer to then upsell into your primary service. And by doing this, you can literally earn profit on every lead you get. Now, it's important to note that you should be including CTAs throughout the resource, and that at the end of the resource, you want to prompt them to fill out an application to qualify them. Now, the qualified ones, again, you can go back here and you can automatically AI dial them, right? The unqualified ones, you either want to refer them and get a commission for that, or you can also create a medium ticket offer. And once these qualified leads fill out their form, you do want them to directly be able to book a call, because prime leads are always primed best at the time that they're engaged, right? If you wait 30 minutes to then reach out, or if you wait even more than that, 24 hours plus, you may not receive the same engagement as you would have 5 minutes after they filled out the form. And so remember that speed is king, whether that's in operations, whether that's in marketing or sales. It will always be best to be on top of things and being able to automate things so that you are able to execute as quickly as possible. That will give you the advantage over your competitors. The third mechanism is going to be creating authority content. And this is exactly what I'm doing right now. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you have tons of years in finance. You have tons of expertise. But if you're not communicating this or publishing content to your leads, many of those leads won't know. They'll know that you have this many years of experience, but they won't see it firsthand. And by presenting this expertise to the leads that you could come in contact with, you are able to build trust immediately. And video is by far the absolute best mechanism to do this. They're able to see how you speak. They're able to see your tone of voice. They're able to see how you present yourself without ever having to be in person or hop on a call or be on a live stream with them. You have in real life networking events, and these are amazing. Don't get me wrong. You can go to a networking event and get tens of leads for your company, especially if you are appealing to the right pain points. But you can't go to 20 networking events a week. You can get on one-on-one calls with your leads. But unless you have a large team, usually for teams that have more than $1 billion in assets under management, most firms aren't able to get on the phone and talk to leads every single hour of the day, especially if you're the founding partner of the firm. You can also do live streams or webinars, but again, you can't be live 24/7. And so video is the only way that you can speak to tens of thousands of leads at a time without ever being on the phone with them, without having to meet them in person, and it works for you as you sleep. And so using this mechanism, you're going to provide value in exchange for their attention and time. And you need to remember that, back to what we mentioned earlier, every single content piece is an offer, meaning you're going to speak to their dream outcome, to the perceived likelihood of achievement, while you minimize how much time that takes and the effort and sacrifice that it takes them to consume that content. So if you can meet your leads where they are on social media, on different networks that they already access on a daily basis, you put yourself at an extreme advantage against every other firm you're competing with. And so starting with long form will allow you to sit down and have a coffee with all of your leads at once. But it also allows you to repurpose that down the entire content flywheel, right? You can create short form clips from these long form videos with Opus Clip, completely automatic. It can automatically schedule them as well. You can create tweets and LinkedIn posts just with ChatGPT or custom written GPT to speak how you like to speak, to write how you like to write. And you can do the same with graphics, articles, newsletters, and carousel posts. And by doing this, you solve problems for your niche, for your ICP, before ever having to work with them. If that doesn't build trust, I don't know what would, right? You're able to solve problems and provide direct value before ever having to do anything for them. And by doing this, you create goodwill, you give out, and eventually you're going to reap what you sow. Eventually the leads will follow through, they'll come through and book, as long as you have the right CTAs in place. And that's my last point. Make sure that every piece of content has a call to action. And by doing this, you remind them what you want them to do. Traffic without the proper direction is just going to result in chaos. You can get tons of views, tons of comments, tons of likes and engagement. But many firms are unable to direct that traffic where they want them to go. And in doing this, they lose out on so much profit. Don't be that firm. So if you're a financial firm and you're managing more than $100 million in assets, then feel free to book a call to work with us below.